Hi everyone, this is Kayla, and I'm back today to share what will probably be my last layout with the October kits, as my November kit should be on the way to me as I'm speaking. But for this layout, I wanted to start with the beautiful vellum paper with foil accents from the Auburn Lane collection that comes in the main kit. And I decided to start that I was going to cut out um, some of the flower cut clusters from the page. So I did go ahead and keep all the clusters together. I didn't cut them down any smaller than what they already were. And yeah, so I just fussy cut them out. And I wasn't too careful because with it being vellum, if you have any rough edges, it's just going to blend into your paper. So I wasn't too worried about that. So I just started, I didn't do all of them on the page, but I did do about half the page worth of clusters. And so here they are. I've got what I want cut out. And this is one of the pattern papers from the main kit, again from Auburn Lane. And I decided to kind of have an idea to keep some of the elements in this layout vertical. Um, just seemed like a good idea. So right now I'm just trying to figure out where I want to put those. And I knew that I wanted to use these frames because I have not got a chance to use them yet. And those again came in the main kit. And so I've printed out a couple of pictures here, and these I printed at 2 by 3, and I thought that was a good size to fit within these frames. So I'm just kind of getting an idea here. I also knew I wanted to use these wood frame stickers from Jen Hadfield. I really, really like these. And of course I used them on the last layout I'm creating with the kit, but I just couldn't quite figure out how I wanted to use them. But I do end up, and you'll see later, um, nestling them into this vertical flower cluster a little bit more. And because I hadn't used them yet as well, I wanted to use some of the 3D floral or flowers from the main kit as well. So I went ahead and glued my frames down here. I am using just my fine liner bottle with Scotch Quick Dry Tacky Glue. It worked fairly well on the wood frames. I do, when I end up actually sticking the whole frame and photo down to the paper, use some glue dots because I felt like the tacky glue just wasn't adhering to the wood frame as well as I would have liked it to, I guess. So later I will end up using glue dots and you'll see that. It just felt like they were going to be a little bit more secure on the page that way. So I've got my frames here, and I do go ahead and switch them around to put the more maroon one down at the bottom because I've got two of the maroon 3D flowers up in the cluster. So that way there's kind of a visual triangle of that red maroon color. And just to kind of bring some more of the foiling somewhere else in the page, I am going to add some of the smaller florals that I cut out from the vellum page down in that bottom right hand corner. And I kept the glue on these clusters pretty minimal because it was vellum and I didn't want to see a bunch of glue through it. But the nice thing is, because of all the foiling on it, I was able to put glue in the centers of the flowers, and I don't think that you can even tell that there's glue behind it. And again, I'm kind of being a little picky about how I'm placing the flower clusters here because I know that I want to nestle some of those sides in, so I'm trying to create spaces on the sides with the stems or the leaves that are sticking out to make spots where those signs can nestle and look nice in that vertical element there. So here's what I meant. I'm trying to kind of incorporate them so it looks like they actually are part of the floral cluster that's hanging. I'm going to stick with these three from this wood sign pack. And I ended up kind of switching the arrow and the other two around a little bit so that the biggest one was at the bottom and then the arrows at the top. I just thought that looked better. And I'm bringing my 3D florals back in as well. And it may look like that little small one at the top is, it almost kind of looks black on screen, but it is that red maroon color. It's just a little bit deeper shade. And so I'm going to go ahead and glue down some of the florals down in this bottom corner now. And I will end up adding that third white flower um, down in this bottom too, just to kind of add a little bit of cohesion and make it match more with the other larger cluster I've got going on. And then coming up is where I'm going to go ahead and add the glue dots to the back of my frames to get those stuck down. Like I said, I did start with the tacky glue, but I just felt like when I had trimmed up the photos that the photo wasn't sticking to the frame as well as it could have. It kept kind of popping up in certain areas. So I just thought the glue dots would give it a more secure hold so that, you know, months from now, if I'm flipping through my album, I don't find the frames with the pictures in it at the bottom of the page protector. And I should be finishing up with this one here soon. Um, they like to stick to everything, so I struggled a little bit to get them to stay on the frame, but once I got them on there, they went really well, or worked really well. So I've got everything that I want stuck down so far, and I decided that I wanted to do a little stitching and kind of create the illusion that the frames with my pictures in them are, I guess, hanging from somewhere, the ceiling, you know, the sky, whatever it may be. So I just take my foam pad and my paper piercer here and poke some holes to make it look like um, the wood frames are hanging. And on the left hand side, I the triangle that I make, and you'll kind of see to go from the frame to the actual string that's hanging. Um, I didn't do a very good job in spacing it. It kind of got a little crooked, but I don't mind. I didn't want to go back and fix it. So if you notice it, just disregard. It's homemade, right? And then I just took some embroidery thread and I'm doing a very simple back stitch for the threading. So nothing fancy. And of course, be careful because since I'd already glued down a lot of the embellishments, it kept wanting to stick to everything. And you may not even be able to notice what I was talking about just a few seconds ago with the string being a little off there, but I notice it, of course, because I'm the one that did it. So I'm almost done with what I'm going to show you here, and here is the finished project or product of it. I just felt like it added a little something extra, so I like how that turned out. And now I'm taking what I have left of the remaining sprigs from the floral pack that comes in the Traveler's Notebook kit. It's the Auburn Lane die cut pack that's nothing but florals. And I'm just kind of tucking them in here and there to just add a little bit something extra to the gold foiling. So I've got it all here and I decided I like how it looks. So I'm going to go ahead and get all of it glued down. And I do have just a few extra of these left. I have a lot more flowers than I do sprigs. I really enjoyed using the sprigs, but the only ones I have left are some gold ones, which I didn't want more gold because the flower clusters themselves were already gold. And then I had a few black off to the left-hand side there that you can see. They're kind of like a black vellum, but they were too dark. They didn't show up against the background very well, so I thought I'll just save those for another day. I contemplated using some of the remaining rub-ons that I have, but I just decided against it. And then I also have some of this washi tape which the ribbons and the washi tape came from the Traveler's Notebook kit. And I liked the pink floral, but it was just too light compared to the colors I had going on. So I go ahead and use this really dark maroon color again, kind of like I have on the frames and the flowers. And then I'm using the thinner gold that comes, well, it's kind of a gold or copper finish that comes in the TN kit with the washi tapes. And just ripping those as well, just to give just a little something extra to the bottom of the page and the right hand side, as I felt it was just a little bare. And sorry I'm off camera here, but you'll see up in the close-ups here in a moment that it's just the same thing as the bottom, just tore some tape and stuck it on the side. And so this is it. This is the final project or product, and I hope you enjoyed. Pictures are going to be coming up, and again, I should have a layout up on the YouTube channel again soon, and that one should be using the November kits. So be sure to stay on top of that and check it out when I get it up. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks. Bye.